Welcome to Subramani. I started talking about retirement long back, maybe 15, 18 years back, and I've been making videos now for 5 years. The way I used to talk about retirement is make sure that you have adequate money for retirement. And today I'm changing the topic a little bit because I'm dealing with two types of people: those who don't think that they need too much money for retirement, that is one problem category, and the other category, which is say aged around 50 plus 55, who have more than enough for retirement. Right, so I meet both kinds of people. So this is meant for those people who actually have enough for retirement but don't know that they have enough for retirement. So sit down, calculate. See, I'm not going to be able to predict how your health will be, what will be the taxation, what will be the return on investments, etc. Because your retirement corpus is a function of all this. But I can still tell you that most of the people I meet who are the older category, who are 50 plus, 55 plus, who are looking at retirement, normally have much more than what they need for retirement. And then they say, we need to support our children, we need to do this. You don't have to support your children. If your children are well educated, they will earn more than enough. You will anyway leave a house, right? So those things are enough. You don't have to leave them separate houses, and you don't have to pay for their cars and their luxury vacations. You don't have to support children who are well off financially just because he's buying a house. Don't give money which you can't afford. If you have much more than what you can, what you will think legitimately you'll need for your retirement, including for the last 3-4 years when you may require a lot more medical care, then by all means give, but be careful. I have in fact made videos on giving during your lifetime, but it's not compulsory to give, right? So if you think you don't have enough, you need not give. So first thing which I see, which people are doing, which is not really necessary, is working much longer than necessary. Largely this comes from the fact that they don't have any hobby, and they have no clue. They're afraid of retirement, not so much from a money or a health point of view, but from a boredom point of view. They have no clue what to do with their time on their hands. Which brings us to the second one, coping with loneliness. You can be lonely inside a marriage, and you can be lonely after the loss of a spouse. More applicable to men, because women still find something to do in the house. They're cooking, they're cleaning, they're doing something. They're active. Mentally, maybe they are also bored in the marriage or having lost their husband. But still, women cope up better. Men can cope up better. Do simple things like buying vegetables, cutting vegetables. Some of these things will keep you physically and mentally active, right? When you give 180 rupees or you give 200 rupees to a vendor and he gives back 143 or things like that, then your mind is active. You're calculating, you're adding up, you're seeing how much each of those things cost, what should be the total cost. So you're active, you're walking there, you're carrying things, right? So you're doing some of those things, apart from exercise, etc. So coping with loneliness is very important. Do some activity, join some groups, whatever interests you. Travel, chanting the Vedas, going to the temple, whatever suits you is fine, but do something, because you're going to be lonely for a long period of time. 15-20 years of loneliness is not impossible. Let's say you're 60 years, lost your spouse, and you live till the age of 90. 30 years you could live alone, both for men and women. But as I said, women cope with this better than men. Which also means you could be battling depression due to lack of purpose. I know somebody who lost his wife when she was 61 or 62, and he was 63, and then he had to live a long life, and he really 4-5 years he had spent on looking after his wife. So after she died, again, lack of purpose, and he had no clue what to do, which means maintaining a sense of purpose is vital for happiness in retirement. Do something, right? Maybe teach. I have an aunt who teaches her servants' children. She gives them tuition, right? So do something like that. Pursue hobbies, take up some activity, help somebody, anything which you can do, but have a purpose, right? So when that kid is writing her SSC exam, it will be great excitement for this lady. So some of these things you can do. And this fear of running out of money, I think you should just abolish it. If your children are successful, then they are also available to you sorry, as a last resort, but it is available. But just in case of retirement, people are worried, and they put a lot of unnecessary budget constraints and concerns, right? Don't do that. Live a life well. Of course, be conscious of what you're doing, but if you have adequate wealth, then don't worry too much about going by public transport, not traveling well, traveling by a poorer class, right? Don't have to do that. Also, don't tighten your budgets based on equity markets. Markets can go up, markets can go down. Yes, when the market goes up a lot and your portfolio does well, take some money out of the equity bucket and put it into the debt bucket, so that next time when the market crashes, you have more your ability to stay quiet for a longer period. But tightening your budget because of the market is fallen makes no sense, because the market will recover. After that, what happens? So don't tighten your budget too much. Create this bucket theory: bucket 1, bucket 2, bucket 3. So if 10 lakhs is your annual expenses and 40-50 lakhs is lying in bucket number 1 and another 20-30 lakhs is lying in bucket number 2, you don't have to worry, because you have already got money for the next 7-8 years, right? So don't worry too much about market mayhem. Don't let market mayhem choose how much you should spend and how much you should not spend. But yes, if the markets do well and you feel you should take some money out and indulge yourself, do it. By all means, do it. There could be some health related financial hardships, right? Healthcare planning is necessary. In India, long term care is not available. In the US, it is available. So if you have not taken it, take it. Of course, it's getting very expensive in the US to take health insurance, but in case you can afford to take long term care insurance, please take long term care insurance. After that, you will of course have to have some medical insurance. You can also create your own. That's what I am doing. Let's say I am paying 50,000 annual premium. I am also putting 50,000 rupees in a fund, saying this is for my medical emergencies in case I need build it there, and that's built up very well, right? Make sure that you sit and talk to your family about your money and about your legacy. Don't let it come as a surprise to them, because that will create a lot of rumblings, lot of fightings, and inadequate estate planning can leave a legacy of resentment and fighting between the siblings. And especially if you want to leave things like vacation properties, be very careful. Each kid may want a different thing from there. So best case would be to ask them whether they are interested in using it. If they are interested, give it to one kid and tell the other kids to use it whenever they want, or something like that. Build it like that instead of trying to give it to all of them, right? Also, don't worry too much about taxation. Today, up to 12 lakhs is tax free. After that, of course, if your income is above 15-16 lakhs, then you will pay a higher tax. But don't worry, and don't get too much perturbed into, oh, it must become capital gain, it should become zero tax, can I have tax free bonds? Don't worry too much about taxation. If you earn, you will pay tax. I pay a lot of tax, but there's nothing I can do, so I grin and pay rather than crib and pay. But payment to karna hi hai, right? If you have high interest debt, pay it off, because I can't understand why should you be retired and have debt. You should have debt only during your earning times, and today there's no taxation benefit of holding properties or things like that. So don't do all that. So if you have interest, if you have high interest debt, repay that first. That's the first step to wealth creation. Thank you.